Imagine a gun so powerful that if you fire it for too long, the recoil actually slows the plane down. A gun so large that the entire aircraft had to be built around it. This isn't science fiction. This is the A-10 Thunderbolt II, better known to the world as the Warthog. For over 40 years, the Pentagon has tried to kill this plane. They said it was too slow, too ugly, and too old for modern warfare. Yet, every time a war starts, the soldiers on the ground ask for one thing: the Warthog. Today, we're diving into the history of the plane that refused to die. In the 1960s, the US Air Force had a problem. They had fast, sleek supersonic jets, but they were terrible at protecting troops on the ground. They needed a flying tank. Something that could fly low, stay over the battlefield for hours, and take a massive amount of damage. The result was the A-10. It wasn't pretty. It looked like a collection of spare parts flying in close formation. But it was functional. The engines were placed high and far back to protect them from ground fire. The pilot sits in what is essentially a titanium bathtub, a 1,200-pound armored shell that can withstand direct hits from 23mm anti-aircraft shells. But the heart of the Warthog isn't its armor. It's the GAU Hate Avenger. This 30mm Gatling gun is the size of a small car. It fires depleted uranium shells at a rate of nearly 4,000 rounds per minute. When that gun fires, it produces a sound that has become the stuff of legends: BRRT. For allies, it's the sound of salvation. For enemies, it's the last thing they'll ever hear. During the Gulf War in 1991, the Warthog proved its worth. It destroyed thousands of tanks, scaring Iraqi armored divisions into surrender. There are stories of A-10s returning to base with half a wing missing, one engine gone, and hundreds of holes in the fuselage, and the pilot still walked away. That's the Warthog's tough reputation. The fuel tanks are self-sealing and covered in fire-retardant foam. It's a plane designed to take hundreds of holes and still bring the pilot home. The heart of the Hog, the GAU Hate Avenger, but let's talk about the real star, the GAU Hate Avenger. This isn't just a gun mounted on a plane. The A-10 is a gun with wings attached to it. The GAU-8 is so large, about the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, that the front landing gear had to be shifted to the side to make room for it. Firing 30mm depleted uranium shells at 3,900 rounds per minute, the recoil of this gun is so powerful that it actually produces more thrust than one of the plane's engines. If the pilot held the trigger for too long, the plane would theoretically stall. That's why it fires in short, devastating bursts. The legend of Desert Storm, the Warthog's reputation was cemented in 1991 during Operation Desert Storm. While the fancy jets were flying high, the A-10s were down in the dirt. They destroyed over 900 Iraqi tanks, 2,000 other vehicles, and 1,200 artillery pieces. One A-10, piloted by Captain Kim Campbell, was hit by a surface-to-air missile over Baghdad. Her hydraulics were gone, the tail was shredded, and one engine was failing. Using nothing but manual flight controls, she flew the crippled beast back for an hour and landed safely. That day, the world realized, you don't retire a Warthog. You just give it more ammo. The retirement controversy: for the last 20 years, the Pentagon has tried to replace the A-10 with the F-35 Lightning II. The argument is that in a modern war against a country with advanced missiles, the slow A-10 wouldn't survive. But there's a problem. Stealth jets can't stay over a battlefield for hours like the Warthog. They can't carry the same amount of cheap, devastating ordnance. And most importantly, stealth doesn't provide psychological warfare. When an enemy hears the BRRT, the fight is often over before the smoke clears. Conclusion: today, the A-10 remains in service, getting new wings and upgraded digital cockpits. It has survived the Cold War, the Gulf War, the War on Terror, and dozens of attempts by politicians to scrap it. It proves a simple truth in military history: you don't always need the fastest or the most expensive technology. Sometimes, you just need a rugged, reliable tool that does one job perfectly. As long as there are soldiers on the ground in danger, the Warthog will be there, waiting in the clouds, ready to deliver its signature sound of freedom.